our last episode, Jane and I traveled on a 20-mile washboard road to the summit of Hatcher Pass, where we were thrilled with paragliders soaring from the 3,886-foot-high mountain. We then continued to visit the historic Independence Mine State Historical Park on our Golden Anniversary adventure. From Florida to Alaska, from the East Coast to the West Coast, join Jane and Steve celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary, traveling across North America in the cool Nana Coach, their 27-foot Freedom Elite Class C motorhome, as they visit the many beautiful points of interest in all 50 United States on their Golden Anniversary adventure. After descending some 800 feet from the 3,886-foot-high Summit Lake Recreation Site, the road becomes paved, and we travel east to visit the historic Independence Mine State Park. An abandoned gold mine set in the spectacular Talkeetna Mountains, it stands as a testament to Alaska's rich gold rush history. We ask that you please hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up button so that the algorithm helps support our channel and helps our channel grow. Independence Mine State Historical Park is a huge abandoned gold mine that sits at the top of Hatcher Pass, a photogenic alpine passage that cuts through the Talkeetna Mountains in the Mat-Su Valley. As you can see, Gold Rush fever is alive and well here in Alaska. Visitors, both young and old, try their luck at panning for gold, hoping to strike it rich. These are the ruins of the ore sorting plant, which was built in 1941. It was part of a connected series of structures beginning with a large coarse ore storage bin and stretching downhill beyond the ball mills. Constructed in 1938 as a framing shop to supply timbers for the underground workings, this line of shops was converted and expanded in 1939 and 40 into pipe, sheet metal, and electric shops. Equipment and materials wore out continuously during the operation of the mine. New and replacement parts were fabricated in these shops. Independence Camp stored ample materials in these buildings to be self-sufficient and avoid costly delays while supplies were shipped from Seattle, Washington. Stock steel was cut, welded, and fabricated into parts for everything from bin liners to the camp's distribution lines for water and fuel. Beautiful alpine scenery can be appreciated any time of the year at Hatcher Pass. The area has been heavily glaciated. Trees grow only in the lowest valley bottoms. Brush, often dense, grows on the lower mountain slopes, yielding to open tundra as the elevation increases. Glaciers occupy the headwaters of the major drainages. Some nearby peaks are over 6,000 feet tall. In the assay office, two critical jobs were performed: testing and retorting. About once a week, the mine superintendent, or the office manager, brought the amalgam to the assay office for retorting. This heating process separated the mercury from the gold by distillation. The amalgam cakes, which were 50% gold and 50% mercury, were crushed and packed tightly in a cast iron retort pot. Small holes were punched in the amalgam to form gas vents to allow the amalgam to heat more evenly and more rapidly. At the end of the process, the retort pot was removed from the furnace and allowed to cool. The mercury, which had been recovered, was weighed and returned to the mill for reuse in the milling operation. Gold often is not visible in the rock. Ore samples from the mine and mill were chemically tested and carefully analyzed for the quantity and quality of gold they may have contained. Here we see a collection of drills and drill bits used to bore holes in the rock to get core samples and to place explosives. In the balance room was a Heiser gold balance. The balance was used to weigh the pure gold buttons produced by the assay office. Extreme care was taken to ensure accurate weight, as the balance was literally sensitive to the weight of a feather. The state of Alaska has truly done a fine job preserving this site. Although much of the plant, shops, and powerhouse were pretty much destroyed by time prior to the state acquiring the site. Upon leaving the assay office, Jane and I walked over to view several other buildings as well as the ruins of the powerhouse. The power demands at a remote camp, mill, and mine of this size were tremendous. With no electric power available in the area, the Independence had to produce its own. The powerhouse wing of the mill complex, built in 1937, housed several diesel generators and air compressors. As mining, milling, and camp size increased, the powerhouse was expanded in stages and eventually had an output of 900 horsepower and 670 kilowatts. The powerhouse ran 24 hours a day, shutting down just once a year for overhaul. The diesel engines were thirsty. Nearly 1,000 gallons of fuel were needed each day to keep the mill, camp, and mine functioning. Diesel fuel was about 15 cents a gallon delivered to Wasilla by train. Trucks hauled the fuel up to Independence Mine. In 1941, fuel storage capacity was 178,000 gallons at the Independence, while only 46,000 gallons in the town of Wasilla.
Please hit that subscribe button so that you'll be notified as our future episodes are released and help us build our channel. And please tell your friends about us and invite them to join us for our future episodes.
Want to see more? Check us out on Instagram on our Golden Anniversary Adventure page.
We walked over to see one of the mighty Atlas diesel engines on display. These engines powered the generators for the powerhouse. It's been an interesting and enjoyable day here at Hatchet Pass, but I must admit, Jane and I are both tired, so we're headed back to our base camp in Palmer. I hope you'll join us on our next episode as we travel to Anchorage to visit the Alaskan Native Heritage Center on our Golden Anniversary adventure.